Hello and welcome to the Paranormal Circle of Tables, or Table of Circles, complete with dog, tongue.
The dog looks better than me, so probably
I didn't want to say, Eric. I didn't want to say.
You want views? This thing will get you views.
I have one too.
A cat.
She's so fat. She weighs 18 pounds. So when I'm over, it's like loading groceries.
I have that. Does that count as a pet?
Yes.
If you pet it, it counts as a pet.
I've drank it. Is that included? Yeah, so encrypted table with myself, obviously, Eric from Gypsy Road, and Michelle Gray of Texas, paranormal consultant stroke medium. So welcome, guys, complete with cat and dog. We are still part of Unex Network, which is this. It goes out on a Saturday night, 10 p.m. EST, each week. So you can watch us back on there as well with all the other people that go on it. Can't think of Bridget Barclay's on there, Peter Robbins, Shannon LeGros, tons. There's like 20 people, I think, that do it. So it goes out throughout the week, and it's the syndicate, so it's all good. First one was on last week, which was the one with Dr. Kate Sherrill, who was talking about vampires, Michelle.
Oh, I like to talk
I know. Yeah, so
those are some hot stories. I still get
vampires. We talked about vampires technically 2 days ago, but I put a show that I did 2 days ago yesterday on my channel. And there was talk about vampires in it because we were talking about blood.
Yeah,
Joe did tell me. Anyway, right. We'll jump onto that in a minute. Do have a very important update. So I'm going to be putting a poll up on the screen for you guys to decide what's going to be happening in the future with the channel. So due to StreamYard changing their price plans, we are going to have to do one of four things. So I'll read it. I'll go through it all first and then explain as I go. So they have literally trebled the monthly price plan from what I was. So I was paying just over £30. It is now just short of £90 per month. Right? And all I get with that extra than what I was getting are these circles and 4K output. Nothing else changes whatsoever. I've just shown Eric and Michelle the breakdown of what you get and what you don't get. Yep. I've dropped from that one because I cannot afford $90 a month. Not a chance. To this one. So with that one, I was getting 4 seats. That's where people can come in without a link. I just make them admin or co-host. You come straight in. So I've lost 4. It's gone back down to 2. So there's me and Nicole. That's it. Everyone else will be linked into it as you would normally. Right. Now.
That's crazy.
For me to stay on. Oh, this is the best bit. So it's like $50 for this one, $45.50, yeah. Then it's $90, yeah. Then it's $300 a month, $298.99. And you don't even get that much more. I've took screenshots of it. I've gone through it over and over and worked out what I've got, what I can do, where it can go, how I'm doing this with the syndicate and going on these other networks, and Nicole co-hosting, Tommy, Sarah, Daryl, the lot. So, yes. I've gone through this all day today. I've wrote stuff down, gone through it in the end. I've calculated everything.
I paid for the cheapest. I got the 721 for $22. I can't afford the 1080. I can't do 50. I do the $22. If they change that, then I am.
I don't even get that's it. I don't get the option of the $22. That's 50. That's like 16, 17 pounds for me. I don't get that option.
You don't even get like
a
option.
I get free where I can record for up to an hour, 2 hours. And I've also looked at the alternatives like Restream and that. Restream, they've all gone up. Restream, basic, you can record for, you can only put a recording on. Yeah. The next price up, you can do a 15-minute stream. Next price up, 30-minute stream. For $60, you can do a 60-minute stream. For $90, you can do a 2-hour stream. That's on Restream.
That is literally medium prices. Like that's what I make for doing readings is $1 a minute. They're basically getting you on $1 a minute. We're like part of
no. That's they're pre-recorded. For you to stream, it's done on megabytes. So you're allowed 250 meg on the first one. You're allowed 500 meg on the second one. 750, 1200, and it goes up. The more you pay, the more data you get. It's like a cell phone contract.
It's almost like I remember going to the store one day. I used to buy a dozen eggs for $2. And I remember going back the very next day. It went from $2 to $6. Not even 50% up. I mean, it went like 200% up. I mean, like I used to buy butter for like $3, and that went to like $8 to $9. I mean, it's just things are not just going up by 20%; they're going up by 100% and more. And it's like, how do they expect people to live?
I can see where StreamYard are coming. They are the best. They're the best at what they do. It's secure.
The original StreamYard sold themselves to a bigger company.
I did.
So the original people who started StreamYard, they don't own it no more. So this other company that owns StreamYard is now like, okay, but we're going to give you this. We're going to give you this.
Yeah.
But then they give you it. Oh, you have to pay for that now.
So I reckon there's a couple of guys who created it, a bit like Zuckerberg did Facebook. So they got offered ridiculous amount of money so that they don't ever have to work again. Sold out. And then they've took it and they've reshaped it. That's what I believe's happened. So these are my options. And I've gone through them and through them and through them and like fine-tuned every single one. So the first one, it's down to you guys in the chat. I have to make a month, like every 28 days, like it's not even monthly, it's like 4 weekly, between 50 and 80 pound a month in donations or people joining Patreon. This is just for StreamYard. I also pay for music copyright and the podcast. Them two alone are 25 quid. So that they're not even in the equation. That's like I can afford to pay that and take a loss on that. But I can't afford to pay this and take a loss because I didn't do this to lose money. I did this because I enjoy doing it and meeting people and finding out and just creating that community. I cannot do this anymore at a loss. I've worked out how much I spent over the last 4 years.
Dude, I've been at a loss for 4 or 5 years on YouTube.
I'm going into the thousands. And I mean thousands.
And I had to stop doing the cartoon series on my channel because I was just paying so much money and I was getting nothing from them.
Wait, I gotta look back at that. I didn't know you did cartooning.
Yeah, I had like 10 cartoon episodes, and on not price wise, they cost about between $300 to $500 to get them all done.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and
then.
And I was thinking, hey, maybe this is going to be a hit. People are going to love the cartoon. They're going to want more and more to come in. It never happened. And I was just losing to the point where I had said, I can't continue. $300-500.
But are you ready for this bit now? So then for me to create the videos and put all the music to it, I have to buy that software. And you cannot buy it like lifetime subscription, yearly. Pixar, which is the main one that I use, you don't even want to know how much that costs.
Pixar from Disney?
Oh, yeah.
No, Pixar. It used to be
I thought you
Picasso.
said Pixar. I'm like, Pixar.
No.
You got to sell them your kid.
Right? Well, I'm going to be selling kidneys at this rate, and I've only got two, and they're not very good. Yeah. So, yeah, all the apps that I use to create the content to do it, all like the equipment, the microphone, the camera, the monitors, the computer. I've literally bought a brand new studio, not all at once, but gradually I've built it up. So it's not cheap. I did work out exactly how much I spent, and I could have bought a real boat, put it that way. Over a 4-year period, it's just no. You don't want to know, right? So these are the options, right? So it's £50 to £80 in donations or through people joining Patreon and PayPal. That has to be guaranteed every month. That's the first option, which I don't expect anyone to do. If you can, it'd be great. If you can't, you can't. Not everyone's in that position. Right. The next one is we do pre-records. So we're pre-recording on a Wednesday to go out Friday, pre-record on a Friday to go out the following Wednesday. Now, they will go out as a premiere. Me and Nicole, at the moment, it's just going to be me and Nicole because we've only got 2 seats on StreamYard. So, record Wednesday, 8:30 to go out on Friday at 8:30. Record Friday at 8:30 to go out Wednesday at 8:30. Now, when it goes out as a premiere, we're normally in the chat. We can't be in the chat because we're going to be pre-recording via Skype or Zoom or whatever it is. Yeah. So it will go out as a premiere, but we won't be in the chat. So then you guys that are viewing are not going to be able to interact with the guest for questions and everything that's going on. It'll still be like this is now, but you just be watching it. It'll be live, but a live pre-record. So there's that one. Next option. So there's me and Nicole can do YouTube studio. You're allowed the host and 1 guest. That's it. So that'll go out live. We can do topics. We cannot get a guest on because it's a co-host or a guest. You cannot have both. I think YouTube have got the hands in some of these streaming things that are going on because why have they not done it? They're missing a trick if they've got nothing to do with it.
A lot of people are abandoning YouTube and going to Rumble. I wonder if this is part of the reason.
Tried it. It's so difficult to just get anything from that. Even just copy. I was showing Gerald Midwest, explaining to him how you've got to copy and paste each time you do a stream to Rumble. It's not just once. It's not just one RSS feed. It's a full URL feed every single time. So if you want to do a live, it's all right because like with you, Eric, you just do a YouTube live. You can just do it through YouTube because it's just you doing it. But when you and your brother are doing it, it's going to be more difficult. And the more guests you get on, the more difficult it gets. And so on and so on.
Well, I'm lucky. A lot of people don't want to come on my channel, so I don't get a lot of guests.
Right.
Have I been
on
Eric? I don't think I've been.
You will be soon.
Oh, you haven't.
So yeah, so me and Nicole do a live without a guest, and we just chat and we do topics, a bit like Eerie Encounters. 4th and final one, which is not really one that I'd like to go down, is forget StreamYard, forget YouTube, move to TikTok and do it live on TikTok. But regardless of which one is chosen, that it will still go on as a podcast
you know
audio.
What the problem is with TikTok? I was doing live sometimes on TikTok, right? You go to TikTok, And it looks like you get these big numbers, like all these people. But the thing is, people go on for 2 seconds, they're out. 2 seconds, they're out. They're out. 3 seconds, out. 10 seconds, out. So it looks like you got like, oh, I got 2,000 people that watch me. Then you look at the average time, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
2 seconds. So nobody technically on on TikTok is staying on and watching you. You might win 1 or 2. I gave up on TikTok.
Well, I don't like TikTok. I'm ready for binning it off completely. I have got like 1,300 followers, and there are people on there that I don't have any other connection with, only via TikTok. So that's the only thing that's stopping me from moving away from it. Because like there's some people that they only interact on Instagram. They don't have any other platforms. So I don't want to use Instagram. But no choice. I kind of have to. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'd have no contact with these people. Yeah. And I need the contact for doing this. So they are the 4 options. The first one would be ideal, but obviously I won't expect anyone to join the membership. Now is when it really, really does and would help. Mm-hmm. The only other one, that's why I've done them in order, is pre-record.
On my music YouTube channel, everything I do is upload. I only did 1 live show on there once, but everything I do on my music channel is I just upload through YouTube. No StreamYard, no nothing.
Yeah. So the only other thing is, I was chatting to a few people today about it, trying to get my head around it and work out what was what. Is even if I hadn't been demonetized, the money that I was getting coming in from that membership still wouldn't have been enough to cover just StreamYard. It's just
now Andy, JoJo says guests are what have made this so good. So she's saying your channel is so good because of guests. So does that mean that JoJo is saying that when you're individually on, you suck? You're only good guests?
Right. How do I delete Joe?
Joking, JoJo. I love JoJo. I like messing with her.
Yeah, I know. Right. So rant over. They're the options. They're the 4 options. I've got until the end of September to come to a decision.
Yeah.
And then from the 27th, which is going to be 4 weeks today, is when us guys do this again, maybe for the last time as a live. Yeah. I don't know.
You know what sucks, Andy? The prices you showed us before the show, that has not happened yet here in America. The prices I just checked for building change is still the same. I wonder if this is 12 months thing. Like, are they like experimenting with the UK to see how many people will pay it, how many people are staying on?
No,
it's not like that.
It's not like that. It's all in dollars, so it's not even UK. I have to convert everything. Not only do I have to convert time, I have to convert dollars to pounds. Like fucking human calculator. No, I'm not.
Says I have a lifetime discount too, whatever that means.
Who?
StreamYard says I have a lifetime discount with them.
Oh, they said if I pay yearly, I get 20% off. I don't have $1,600. I don't have $1,600.
Been there for 4 or 5 years. You get like a lifetime discount where you no matter what, you always get to have this additional percentage, even if you pay annually or monthly.
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
You've been on 5 years.
I've been on 2018.
Well, 2009, 2020, 4th year this year.
So
wow.
So I have 2 years. Maybe that's, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
it's just not fair.
Drugged me over here. That this is
it's frustrating because just when you're getting a couple of steps forward, you get hit by a truck and you're back at the beginning.
And what's bad is most of us do this for free. We don't charge to be as a guest. We don't charge to do readings half the time. You know, we do this because we love everybody and we in a village. And they're like, oh, we can market on these people. Screw the fact that they don't even charge for anything.
Oh, well, hold on.
I do charge for
when he doesn't pay guests, I had to pay guests to come on my channel. They come
you pay me. You guys pay me. But yeah, I'm just going to say a few hellos in the chat because I've not ignored everyone. I had that poll set up and I couldn't do anything. So I just want to say
COVID talking.
Hi to Gerald, Simon, Fred, nickname, Sober, Grasshopper.
Grasshopper's pretty steady on here. Every time I'm
on Joanne.
They're there. Dark room.
Ash Ellis. Hope you're feeling better. He had an injury to his leg. Jason Pritchard.
That name sounds so familiar.
Jane, Chiro Sounds.
Brown Dwarf, how cute is that?
Oh, Brown Dwarf.
He's awesome.
He said, yeah, he's on yours. Mike Wright. Joe's Fire Spirit Wayne, Daryl, Darkroom Productions, Adam Sandor, Expanding Reality, Brandon Thomas, welcome. And
hey,
Derek,
Andy, Simon, our Simon,
Vampire Simon.
Yeah.
Bloody Church in the 80s, Simon, and Stuart Farrington. So welcome to the show. Sorry for ranting, but it's like 4 weeks from today to decide on what's going on. So
life sucks.
Yeah. Anyway,
it truly does.
Anyway, anyone had a fight with a demon lately?
Oh, guys, if I tell you the shit that I had been going through, it bore the whole everybody in the chat. But man, I've been going through some major crap, and
really
a little different than yours. But mine's been dealing with freaking insurance companies and shit. See, in the UK, I know in the UK, you guys get free medical. Here in America, you don't get.
Oh
free
no.
They don't have a free health.
No, you don't get teeth. Dentist, you have to pay.
Oh, you do have to pay.
Yeah. So I've tried getting into NHS. That's the free bit. Yeah. I can't get in as an NHS dentist. I can't even become a patient for an NHS dentist. But if I wanted to go to the dentist, if I pay £75 and set up a direct debit, it's free tiers again. It's like StreamYard, but worse. They will. I can get an appointment tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Not a problem.
We all need to go to Canada. Canada's free there.
I'm good. I'll stay in Texas. Thank you. Although my people from Scotland to Nova Scotia, they were shipbuilders. So
I was actually almost going to do a live show later on today to explain to people exactly what's been going on with my stuff for the last, 2 years. That there was some resolution that came out today that put a smile on my face and maybe take up my finger, flip off some of these evil insurance companies.
Oh, yeah. No, my insurance company for the car, I've been with the same company for 5 years, and each year it's gone down.
See, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about like work-related stuff, like getting injured on the job and like who wants to pay, who doesn't, kind of kick you off. I mean, this big circle with L&I that I've just been going in this big-ass circle.
If you injure yourself at work here, yeah, we still have to pay national insurance. And I don't know anybody that has had to claim using that because I've injured myself at work and never claimed national insurance. I won't even know how to do it.
No, it still shocks me how in the UK how you guys do your electricity. It's so weird. You guys got to buy a card and go and pay a deposit.
Pay as you go. Yeah.
I mean, that is just so freaking weird. It's not like that here. I mean, it's like it's like
we have
kids and babies and you run out. I mean, it's just like wow.
You can do that, but we've got where you pay each month. Like you have a standing order that you set up and just pay X amount each month.
Well, that's how we do it too. So
yeah.
All right, now can we talk about something other than old man shit?
Yes, Eric. Don't be bringing us down.
Drink coffee and hear people fussing about their damn insurance plans.
Yeah. So that's a score with the channel.
You're a political show now, right, Andy? I thought you went to a political show now.
Hell no. We're not going to get into that. Not this year. Not for America. Not this year.
No.
No.
I've not had anything paranormal happen for since the last time something paranormal happened.
Oh
what, 2, 3 months, 4 months? Nothing.
I had a personal
Nothing.
major Mandela effect for myself.
Oh,
okay. Let's hear that.
Well, this ain't like nothing like ghosty or paranormal. Okay, everybody knows I cook a lot of food and stuff, and I go to. There's this one recipe that I always use for to make my chuck roast. Beautiful fucking chuck roast. It melts in your mouth. And there's a temperature thing that I always go with on it. You always cook it on a low temperature, 325 degrees. 325 degrees. And yesterday I'm like, I kind of forgot, like, what is my marinade from it? So I went back to that same exact video that I always used, and it went to the temperature part, and this is a personal change. Instead of 325, it went to 300. Now I'm sitting there this is a personal one, but I'm like 300. In my mind, I've always did 325 because I use it all the time. 325. All of a sudden now it's 300. Now people can say, Eric, you're misremembering. I always hear that, but when you know something for a fact that you've been doing a certain way forever and you based it off this one video, 325 to 300 for cooking slow, that's a major difference. Degrees when you're cooking certain food.
Yeah.
Know for a fact it was 325, but now it's 300. Now I don't, see, this happened to me yesterday. So now what I usually do is okay. So if I feel it's a change, now I got to research what is it with 300 now. I haven't fully done that yet, but I'm going to do a full research because for me, when I feel like there's a personal change, there's a reason behind it. There's a paranormal reason, spiritual reason, whatever you want to call it. There's a reason why I'm seeing a number differently. I know for a fact what that number was. 325 to 300 is a major change, and I got to research on what is with that number 300.
Or it could be also. You've deducted 25 from that. So it's not just the 300. It could be
true.
It could be the 300, or it could be the 300 and the 325 added together. So 625. So it could be that with the combination of how many hours you did it. Like you have to really break down some scenarios if you're going to find a numerical paranormal reason for that.
I will. And trust me, all I got to do is get my brother, hey, my number went from 325 to 300. What does that mean? And I tell you, his mind, his brain, he'll figure it out. He will dissect it. This is what it means. You're going to die tomorrow. No, I'm just joking. No, I hope not. I think I did jinx myself.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just with me to make sure I'm still alive.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I will talk about something kind of paranormal.
Oh. Yes.
I've kind of been, I know a lot of people have noticed that I've kind of dropped off the earth for the last 2 months, but my mother was in hospice. And so I was having to help take care of her. She had COPD stage 4, all that kind of stuff. We did lose her on the 21st. Anyway, enough with that part. But I've always looked into listening to the spirits and the voices and everything to kind of guide everything. Well, they put me on Zoloft about a month and a half ago to kind of stop the eye tick that I get under huge amounts of stress. So I was really muted to anything spiritual. It just blanks me out. So this is only going on knowledge to a certain extent. So Mom, she's medicated all the way. She's just really fighting to breathe there at the end. And I had left and I was at home, and that gut feeling of you've got to get up there. Like just this antsy. I still had 4 hours before I had to be there to relieve the hospice. And so I get there and I just know that this is it. Like I'm not really seeing the ribbons that I see. Not that I would for her because she's my mother anyway. But we went and, or I'm there and I'm sitting it and you can tell my mother's trapped. Like I've never been in a room with anybody who is dying that I could literally feel her almost like hitting the inside of her body, like she could not escape. And even through, it was so strong that even through the numbing effect of the Zoloft and all of this stuff, I could feel almost the it's so odd to say, but I could almost feel the vibration of her spirit not being able to exit. So she had not opened her eyes for 4 days at this point. So her bed was kind of beside it was directly beside the window, kind of horizontally with it. And I went to the other side of her, over between her and the window, and she had left me a necklace underneath the bed, like a gift box.
Yeah.
Forgive me, but it said, my little girl yesterday, my friend today, my daughter forever. So I found it and I put it on. So I went around the other side of the bed, and I'm looking over at her, and I'm looking out the window, and I look over, she's got her eyes wide open, and I said, Mom, look, I found the necklace. I thought, oh my God, she's dying and I'm about to get grounded, but she looked at me, and I heard my great grandmother, who's been dead since 2005, say, open the window. And so I turned around, and it was a stormy day, so I knew she'd be able to travel pretty easy. So she's looking at me, and I turned around, like literally just turned my body, opened the window. And when I turned around, she was gone.
Wow.
When my dad was there, like when my dad died, it was like a slingshot. We could feel his whole spirit just shoot out of the room. But I've never been in a room with somebody who was stuck in their body. And that was the first time. And it was so, I'm sad that I was on the Zoloft, because I would have liked to have been able to like communicate with whoever came to get her, or, I was really hoping that I would get some answers. I know that sounds selfish, but we're all just searching answers. And I thought, well, this is the time where I'm going to truly have my family in here, my spiritual family that's passed on, to be like, who came? Like, that was the biggest thing, was who came? Did my grandpa George come? Did my aunt or my dad, or who came to get her? Like, who came? But I heard my great grandmother. Yeah. So
that's not being selfish.
No.
I mean, it's kind of like, it felt selfish to be like wanting, like, hey, Mom, is someone here? Who's here? Because I was just so, I don't know. The medication just, I think it's humbling for a person like me, who is used to the spirit chatter, used to constantly hearing the opinions of spirits and things like that, to when you get medicated and you're just like an absolute normal person who doesn't have any links into anything that they acknowledge. It's just quiet. How loud it is, how loud a person without the abilities world is, even though it's so quiet. Like, that's still, it's very humbling for me to, and they do put me on medication every once in a while, to realize that's lonely. Like, I see how people get hopeless when you don't have the security of the spirits around you. It was crazy, but it was just so beautiful that I could, and I was so grateful that even though I was medicated, I could still hear, and I don't know if it was a memory of her always saying, they can be stuck, you have to open the window, or if it was her saying, open the window. But there's no doubt I knew who it was.
Yeah.
Now, Michelle, may I ask you, because you're a medium, is that what kind of medium you are, where you could feel somebody's spirit? Like, I don't know if you walk into a hospital, you could feel so many spirits in there, and when they're about to leave or not?
I usually can tell. To me, it kind of comes like a ribbon. So it's just like, life is kind of just like a band, like a stream or a ripple. And some people, I can tell that their ribbon is not very long, and some people I can just feel it continue. And I don't actually see a ribbon, but that is the feeling. It's just like a wave, and some people's waves are short and some people are long.
I love what you were saying, Michelle, because I used to work for a company warehouse that we deliver medical supplies to hospitals. Mm-hmm. So I used to have to go to hospitals almost every single day, delivering machines to people that had major surgeries and stuff. And through my 5 years of doing that, I've heard so many different people's stories that they thought, they were talking to their loved ones, or they accidentally identify me as their daughter, father, grandpa, or not. I mean, more than once, so many people. And it's like, and I know the simple words always say, well, they're probably on medication, but when my father, before he died, he said that he talked to his mom and dad. Absolutely. Right? And my wife, after we talked to him, it was a day before he passed away. That was the weird part. My wife went to the nurse, goes, what kind of medication is he on?
Yeah.
Right? To find out, like, is this true? Well, the nurse goes, well, he's not on any medication yet.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
I absolutely believe that people come. However, my brother had a horrible car wreck. Horrible. They had to vacuum his brain. It was a bad wreck. And when he finally came out of a coma and he was sitting there, he's like, Shell, come here. And I was like, what? And he said, there's a man at the end of my bed writing my name in blood in a book. And I was like, what? Now, my brother was, he was an unusual man at the time. He wasn't always doing the right thing. But I asked other people, and he was on medication. So I just told him, brother, if they're writing your name in blood, you might want to reevaluate your actions from here on. And so after that, I thought, it was the medication, but whatever. But I've talked to other people who've had, instances where they were in a coma and they were coming out and they had seen a figure somewhere in the room that was writing names in books. And I've talked to probably half a dozen people who've seen the same kind of thing when they're half in, half out, that somebody is taking a scroll. But then other people, like hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of people that I know for a fact somebody comes to get them. I can see the person sometimes in the room, like not, of course not with these eyes, but I know they're there and, they're just kind of waiting. So it's pretty crazy.
See, I don't understand that. I have never experienced anything like that. So I can't even begin to imagine what any of that is like. They just, like with the spirits and like the noise and the sound and the emotions and everything all going off at once. It's just...
But you have to, like a lot of us, it doesn't happen just boom, you have it. I mean, I've heard of some people with head traumas that it does, and I think it just takes on a different part of our brain that we could all use. But when we have brain damage, we kind of pick up, different pieces to kind of
different parts of the brains work instead of the others. Yeah.
I have an acquaintance that she had massive head trauma, and she can speak Cantonese now. She's a little bitty Texas woman who can speak perfect Cantonese after her head injury.
Wow.
Like, perfect. And a Cantonese is not exactly one that you can just pick up, eating dinner one night.
Isn't it like one of the hardest languages to learn? Or the hardest? Cantonese and Mandarin are the two most difficult languages.
And had no idea. She went somewhere on vacation and she answered someone who was having a full conversation in Cantonese, and her mom was like, you understand what they're saying? And those people were looking at this tiny little Texas white girl like, what is going on? Yeah, she can speak Cantonese. She's not perfectly bilingual. I'm sure she couldn't pass any tests, but she can communicate like Cantonese.
Yeah, but from knowing nothing to knowing, even if it's just basic, you couldn't learn basic overnight.
And that makes me wonder, when you're vulnerable like that, and you have the head injury and you're kind of in and out, are you picking up things that are just like, did she pick up an attachment while she was half in, half out? With
if
her,
she's coming out and then grabbed onto something, or something's grabbed onto her and then pulled back in, maybe she's taken part of that or all of that in with her.
Right.
Presumably someone that speaks Cantonese.
Right.
And they kind of like not hosting, but just using it.
Now, Michelle, were you born being a medium, or did something happen like life, you almost died or something, when you feel like you have some additional gifts?
I believe I inherited a lot of it. Just different people in my family could do different things, but it was never spoken of. I'm the first one to openly come out about anything. But I think that it started out, no, I guess it would always be, because my mother said I used to play with, she'd wake up in the middle of the night and I would, be playing with someone in my room or sharing, snacks with people or things like that. So I think it's always been, but I was raised in 3 religions simultaneously. So when you're getting all these religions and all of this stuff, like I went to a Pentecostal church half the time. And until I was 10 years old, I thought everybody in there had epilepsy like me. I thought it was an epileptic church. I had no idea they were speaking in tongues. Like my little granny, the one that told me to open the window for mom, she said, baby, that's speaking in tongues. They're not epileptics. I was like, this is the coolest church ever. You can just drop down, have a seizure. Everyone gives you a cookie, pat you on the back. You get hugs. Like, this is the best church ever. And then it just found out, because the other churches were non-denominational and Methodist. You weren't getting loved on for having a seizure in the middle of a pastor's sermon, So,
quick question. So you said you have epilepsy.
Yeah.
Do you think that because you have that's your gateway into being able to contact these other entities?
I like that question because I've thought about this, and these are the things that I've came up. So my seizures come from that little squishy part in between the 2 brain lobes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get tangled because I can't remember it anyway, because I got ADHD or 2. So, but it's from the little squishy part, and I don't like bite my tongue or anything, but I black out. Like my brain says, I'm tired of playing. Let's take a nap. So it's down. So I've had some weird instances of things happening while I'm in the middle of a seizure. So like one time I was out for about 6 hours, and I knew about things that were on the other side of the town. Like I knew what my friend was doing across town while I was blacked out at the location. Like they had already taken me by ambulance because they were freaked out because I wouldn't wake up. So did I, like, where am I during that?
So like, do you think you astral traveled or astral projected?
I don't know enough about it to say yes or no, but I can say that it's not the first time. That was the longest I've ever been out, like can't wake up, out. I mean, they were right at thinking I was in a coma.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 hours is
6 hours.
My granddad had epilepsy. I only witnessed like a couple of his seizures.
Yeah.
And he'd just start like, usually when he was sat down, he'd just start fitting in the chair. And then he used to have false teeth, so they'd have to take the teeth out. And it only lasts like a couple of minutes at the most, and then he was okay again.
Yeah, no, 6 hours. Yep, they had already taken me to the hospital.
Right.
All my vitals were fine. My brain just would not reboot. And that's what it felt like to me. But I don't have visual images of what was going on during that seizure. No. I just know that at the location of my body was dark. And when I woke up, I asked Stacy, what were you doing over at, XYZ's house? And she's like, what? And I said, what were you doing over there? You're not supposed to be, being over there because y'all broke up. And, I was like, and she's like, I just got back from there. What are you talking about? And so it was just crazy. So I don't know what happened, but that happened. And other times were things like I blacked out one time, like I had the seizure. I didn't hit my head any of these times because I know to like I'll lay down in the middle of a grocery store if I have to. But the seizure's not going to kill me. The head injury is going to kill me.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, would you mind getting me that, that whatever out of the refrigerator? It was a drink. And they were like, how did you even know it was in there? Because we, you weren't in there when we put it in there. And then you had your seizure. So I was asking for a drink out of the fridge that, wouldn't have normally. So I do think that odd things happen during the seizure. And sometimes now that I know more about the paranormal world and the abilities, I wonder sometimes if they're not the reason I have the seizures. Like if my brain that's interacting with you.
Can the seizure open up other parts of the brain, maybe like other sensors?
Yeah. The part of the epilepsy that, from what I understand, is your brain gets overloaded and you just can't do it anymore. So your brain says, okay, let's take a nap and let's reboot and let's handle everything. So it kind of makes me wonder if I'm getting too much of the paranormal stuff coming through, if it doesn't pick and choose what it wants. Like, no, this is more of a priority. So we're gonna boot down your body and we're gonna make you go here.
So do you think then that so when you have the seizure, have you this is probably the most ridiculous question I've ever asked.
Oh, I doubt that. I've had some great.
You've not heard it yet.
Usually come with pictures too.
Yeah. So have you ever tried to control it? So when you go into the seizure, I don't know how it happens. I've never had one, and hopefully I never will. That'd be horrible. But when you go into a seizure, have you ever tried to control it, or like you would a dream? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can control the breathing to try to stop it. They've taught, things where you can maybe meditate or something like that. But it's kind of like, you ever been like blackout drunk almost, and you're just kind of like things kind of splotchy a little bit, and you kind of don't have a lot of balance, like you're about to float or fall, like you're either
usually fall.
Yeah, it's kind of that feeling when one's coming on for me. I don't know about others, but I do know that a lot of epileptics have abilities. But we've also had a lot of brain trauma. Like I've had a lot of head injuries when I was a kid, walking to class, concrete, hit my head. So I know that there is brain damage, at least from my wreck in my frontal lobe. So has my brain, because as I get older, my abilities get stronger. I got a lot more things going on, but I also have, because of all of you and everyone else that supported me so much from the beginning, telling me, oh, that's not just a weird quirk, that's this, like the audio writing. I didn't know that was a thing. Like I didn't know, because I could draw somebody's living room and never been there, and it's all the way across, who would have ever thought that? What was that thing, 7,000 miles that I did for you?
Texas to Manchester is that between 5,500 and 7,000 miles ish, and she drew the layout of the set. She even drew the exact carvings on the headstone of the shape of the flowers, of the petals of the roses and the stems, everything. We couldn't even see it. It was that dark,
and you weren't even
like, oh
at that time.
My God.
And the sucker sprung it on me. He's like, "You want to be on my show?"
No, Nicole's fault. She decided
did that?
She decided to have no electricity in New York, so we'll blame her. And she's not here to defend herself.
That's okay.
So it's all good.
Anything wrong? But yes, I was just supposed to be there, and then I ended up like, but it was.
She ended up running. There's 8 of us.
And the cat, the ghost cat.
Oh. Have you seen these photos, Eric?
Ghost cat.
I warned them at the beginning, don't be scared, because there's going to be a cat.
Yeah. Oh, Andy's ghost cat. Okay, yeah. I see that.
And this.
And you've seen this before him, before he's going out there, you're saying.
Yeah, that's with the body. Oh, that baby creeps me. What was his name? Anthony or something like that? I can't remember.
Nathaniel. Mm-hmm. So she got the name Nathaniel. We went back up into the churchyard. She was telling us John was the dad, he was the sexton at the church, sexton, whatever. We went up, we found the headstone of the 10 or 11 children that he'd had that had all died under the age of 4 years old. And you got the name Nathaniel from the Chucky tree, we call it, because it looks like Chucky, and it's on a tree. And we got Nathaniel, and he was the youngest one that had deformities. And I think it was Fire Spirit. So Wayne was doing Wayne, Og, Joe, and I want to say, I think Jason Pritchard. There was 4 of them that was doing like research, and there's everything Michelle was saying. I've driven past this place loads of times when I lived in Manchester. I had family that lived up that way, and I've pretty much always done driving, and some of the places that I used to deliver to, I'd drive past the top of it, but I never knew it was there. Do you know when you just drive past somewhere and you don't really take any notice of it? It was one of them. And there was just so much that was going on.
It's so funny. It's the first time he hasn't said, and she tried to kill me.
She tried to drown me under
But now,
bridge.
did Andy ask you beforehand to get something, or you just came out and told them?
No, he just said, "Well, you want to be on the show?" It's like, cool. And then Nicole had no power in New York, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, we're on an investigation today." Ha 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 ha. And then there's Simon.
Gonna run off.
And I was like, okay, but that was so good because I wasn't like, there were no nerves, there was nothing. It was just like, oh, and then it was like, oh, don't get startled when you see the cat or the cat, something like that about a cat. And then later on, we see the dang cat drinking water.
But at the edge of the cemetery, which led down the steps that took us down to the river, Darren, baby with a laser, he's not in the chat because he's gone on holiday. He's gone to Wales for a couple of weeks. He was sat on the steps, and he's seen like 2 or 3 cats that shot past and went near his legs and all that. And this was before, and we didn't see any of these photos. So Simon took photos and Adi took photos. I was filming. Sarah was filming. Tony and
I think Sarah was there with her group.
Yeah, so Sarah. So to investigate with that, there's Sarah, Emma, Adi, and Tony. There's me, my cousin Andy, Simon, and Darren. So Simon and Adi were taking photos. Tony was taking photos. Me and Sarah was live streaming. Emma and that they was doing like ghost hunting equipment stuff. Darren was sat trying to like feel stuff because he's a really strong empath. He's very similar to what Michelle does. And because Andy was there just to find out what we do. But we was all getting something. And like Simon and Adi took these photos. It wasn't until they was going through it and it's like this. Yeah. And we're all like, oh my, what? Why? How could we not see any of this? And then Michelle was doing the called spirit drawing, is it? Spirit writing.
It's a remote drawing.
Yeah, there's 4 people. So Fire Spirit, I'm sure it was Jason, Og, Joe, and somebody. There's 5 people in the chat that was all helping with the history of the area. Just putting loads of stuff coming through on the chat. But Michelle is telling us this before it's coming up, before anyone's wrote anything in the chat. You can go back and watch it.
It's
the last main investigation we did.
It's worth the watch because I'm literally got my nose in the, like, trying to, like, I'm going to stick my head through there or something. I'm sure there's like some nose hair shots where I'm just like, go, what's over there? What's over there? Because I mean, I was with them, but I had to have linked in through Andy. It was too much. Like, I don't know how I could have done it so far.
And thing was, I didn't know where we was going till 10, 15 minutes before we got to that location.
Yeah. But has this happened before, like beyond Andy? Like, have you seen other people go on research and figure you saw something that they're going to run into?
Oh, no, I don't know anything about over there.
We didn't see anything on the night.
No, but I mean, like, not just your group, like any other group outside of Andy's. Like, have you seen something with somebody else?
Oh, I mean, I've done remote. Yeah. I mean, I've done that style of seeing before. Yeah. For Night Owl podcast in Austin, I did their Pompeii house. But I actually was being interviewed originally for a tattoo parlor that I got some ink at, that we know the guy. And I did this whole reading for him. It just happened. Like, I didn't intentionally, I just went in to get a tat. But then Andy and we had never even talked about doing anything really like that because it's so far. No. Like, you even perceive that could happen. But then I was just like, I got to get a pad. Like, and I had to start, like, I know when I have to start doing it, I have to start doing it. So, but I've done remote writing before.
So like in a month, I'm going to be going to this hotel in a town called Port Townsend. And it's supposed to be everybody says it's the most haunted. You know, everybody always says they have the most haunted hotel in every state. But I'm going to the one that in Washington that's supposed to be the most haunted. Is this something where, like, if I get with you 2 days before I go and say, hey, do you see anything that I might see up there that I should look for? Does that kind of thing works?
I don't know. I've never really known anything about it to start with. You know, like Andy just said, hey, you want to be on my show? I'm there and I'm in it.
Best doing it on the spur of the moment, because you get a real. Real. It's just real reaction, real feelings, real emotions. It's just everything's legit. But Michelle said she had people contacting her saying, "Oh, I'd spoke to her beforehand."
Yeah,
we had a choice of like 5 different locations it was going to go to, and this wasn't even top of the list of the one that I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to an old like disused hospital.
Oh yeah,
that was like first. Then it was this, and there's a couple of others, but it was just it worked. It just worked. It happened. Yeah. We didn't write it. It was just, Michelle, do you want to come on? Because you'd not been on for a while. And we've been chatting of other stuff as well that was going on. So it's like, well, come on, blah, blah, blah. We'll do this. And then Nicole, I think, because now the power cut with Nicole, because she was in and out, it was lagging like, it's like he was using 2 yogurt cartons and a bit of string. It was that bad. And this just seemed to, everything fitted into place. There was a reason for everything. But even if we had have written it, we couldn't have guessed any of that. Even if we'd have gone and researched it, we'd still got it wrong.
Yeah, because I didn't pick out like really well monuments. Like, it wasn't monuments that cemetery would have been known for. These were like random. This was like one of many entrances, from what I know now. There was and we still haven't found the one that I drew from behind. Remember, where I was in the back and I was facing toward the gate, and then there was another one that we still haven't figured out which one that is.
That's the one for John and his wife.
No, that was a different one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's the big one. Remember,
I didn't
go back to the pictures, but like I drew the one where the children were in and all of that stuff. Then there was one that
was on the ground.
Yeah. I know that we haven't found everything I was supposed to find, because I have not forgotten about it. Like, it pops into my mind. Once I've done something, it just, like, all the details drop away. That's why I tell, when I do investigations, I say, record everything that I say, even if you think it's not important. If I'm getting a drink of water, record everything I say, because it's just going to come out of my mouth. There's no filter. I'm not thinking. I may process some things, but take down everything I say, because I may say the yellow bus and you're just like, whatever. But then you find out a month later, a yellow bus crashed in front of that place.
Yeah.
It's a pink bus for Andy. Well, what was the most I had to throw that in there. Pink bus for Andy. But Michelle, was it like something was so trippy, even for yourself, like you predicted, you saw, and it came true? Was there something like that was real incredible or scary?
I get scared a lot.
But I mean, was there like one thing like, oh my God, I can't believe this came true?
Yes. So it was my first death prediction.
Oh,
I want to hear this. Hopefully it's not me, right?
No. It was my second.
Your second.
It was my last husband, probably my last forever. Anyway,
I got to hear this.
He was a musician, and we went to his church for a funeral. He's like, listen, hate to do this to you, but can we go to a funeral? And this was really kind of within the first 3 years of me starting to do things. And we go into, I don't know anything about the church. I mean, we're like fresh dating, 3 weeks fresh dating. And we go in there, and, they're doing all the stuff for this man. And the pastor comes up and shakes my hand. Well, when he shakes my hand, I'm like, oh shit. So I'm trying to start dating this man. I don't know where he falls on this ghost spectrum, so I'm just kind of like, and I guess it was obvious that I was, different. And he's like, is everything okay? And I was like, let me just go ahead and tell you this so you can take me home early in case, we don't want to waste any time on this. But I told him, I said, is your pastor sick? Because I'm wondering. He's like, well, he's leukemia, but he's in remission. He's doing good. And I go, okay. And then he's like, what? Now tell me. And I said, he's going to be dead within a year. 8 months later, the man dies.
Whoa.
and so it was not long after that we found out he was out of remission. Now, I didn't know the man, nothing. I just shook the man's hand. But that was one of those kind of, oh man, awkward times to where, and now it happens a lot. Like, I am really cut down on my hugging and shaking and all of that kind of stuff. Because
what about Andy? When is he going to die?
No, I can't.
No, never. I'm immortal. I'm a vampire.
Come on, Michelle, email me on the side and we'll play like a little bet.
No.
I'm
careful when I tell.
No, we won't.
I mean, have you ever felt like where you just did not want to tell a person like yes. Oh my God, dude, tomorrow don't go out.
A spirit won't let you go. They'll mess your meal up. There was this one guy at this place in Weatherford, Texas, and I was eating. They had the best pulled pork sliders, just trying to eat my damn slider. And this old lady will not stop. She wants me to tell this man who's eating over in the corner. And I can tell he's one of those, leave me alone. I don't want to hear it. That kind of stuff. And I'm like, not doing it. Eat my sandwich. Whatever. That sandwich got so salty. It was like the more I fought her, the more she jacked with my food. My Dr. Pepper went flat. My food got salty. Like, there was no.
Well, I like salt on my food, so that's a good thing.
No, you wouldn't have wanted this.
No.
But Michelle, maybe you're here because seriously, say you see Andy getting hit by a pink bus in 5 days, and you're able to tell Andy, hey, do not go out in 5 days because a pink bus is going to hit you. Maybe you have a gift to save some people's lives.
Well, I do things like that, but I don't get into that because that's too much information for somebody. It's too much. The average human can't process that kind of thing.
No, I don't want to. Thank you anyway. So get rid of Eric now.
Now, I don't.
I'm trying to save your life, Andy. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, I'm just going to well, this is crap because I was supposed to go into Manchester this weekend.
You're
to do
fine.
Unless no. I was supposed to go into Manchester this weekend. They actually have pink buses, or they did have. They've now changed them to yellow.
Okay, that's where
yellow for her, pink for me. It makes sense.
So, maybe Eric's pulling some abilities out we didn't know about. But so just be cautious of the school buses or the public transit. But when I'm telling somebody about okay, say Eric, I'm talking to you, we're buds, and I'm like, have your back been itching a lot? And then say you're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, get your back checked. Now, I've had people come back and go, I don't know how you did it, but I had skin cancer on my back.
Oh.
But I know that their back has been itching. And all I know to do is to tell them, you need to go get that particular ailment checked out now. So I've had probably, I know over 100 people that I've said, you need to get your leg checked out, or you need to get. One guy, I was just walking in downtown Granbury, and I went up to him and his wife, and I said, I am not as crazy as you're about to think I am. But I need to tell you this because I just do. I've walked around you guys, for hours here in the square. I've got to tell you this. You need to go have your right leg checked out. Like, don't take no for an answer until they look at all of your veins and stuff in your leg. You have to go have it looked at. And he went back, and it was probably a year and a half later. I'm sitting at Mesquite Pit, and this old lady comes up, scared the crap out of me. I'm like, why is this old lady just grabbing me? And she said, thank you so much. He had some kind of blood clot that was about to throw in his leg. And they said 2 hours later, that clot would have thrown. So, but every time they walked by me, my leg got hot. I'm talking hot. Like my own physical leg was hot. And I was like, what is going on with this? And I knew it wasn't my pain.
See, I'm correct. You had the ability to help people.
So,
see,
yeah.
I've had this happen the other way. So one of the first ghost hunts that I went on, we went to a abandoned house. So you've only got the walls and some of the floor, and that's it. There's a few of the people that I used to work with, and we'd gone at night, and we had did a bit of a seance with a table and a glass. Anyway, we believe we contacted one of the servants that worked there. They had like a indoor garden where they grew veg and fruit and that.
Right.
So she worked in there.
Like a solarium.
Long story short, she got murdered by the owner by pouring bleach down her throat. So this is middle of November. It's freezing. I've got like 20 layers on, big ski coat, scarf, hat, gloves, the lot. Right. It's about 11 o'clock at night. So it's probably about -3 Celsius. So what's that? Probably about -10, -12 or thereabouts. And as soon as he was saying about the moment they mentioned about the throat, my neck started burning and I had to rip the scarf off. I was literally down to my t-shirt and it was you could see it was all bright red, all there. And I was picking up what had happened to her. I could feel inside my throat was just like on fire. And as soon as they disconnected from her, it went as quick as it came.
Yeah.
And then I'm stood there and I'm freezing. I put my layers back on. That was weird.
Hey, I want to answer this Brian C. guy. He says, when it's your turn to go, no medium can save you. I believe that, but I also believe that, like Eric was saying, I believe everybody that's on earth was put here for purpose, for whatever their purpose is. And it may not have been his time, but there are other circumstances that can happen. Just because his time may have been planned in the future to have a heart attack and his lazy boy eating hot wings, but because of something he has ate or done, some other factor caused a blood clot. So no, I didn't stop him from his time to go, but I also didn't speed up his time to go by letting it go.
But technically, okay, Brian C's comment, when it's your turn, no medium can't save you. Nobody knows that. I mean, nobody knows the set of rules in front of them. I mean, that's a theory, but maybe people can't help other people. There's no, hey, you're a medium, you can't do this, you can't do that. Right. We don't know what the full abilities.
Well, then you've got to look at the double irony? So if you're say intervening and you're going in and you're saving them and they're going and then they're not dying, was that also written that was for you to do regardless of whatever happened previous to that? So it wasn't their time to die because they might have passed earlier and then had NDE and all that, or maybe it was for you to. That is one of the things that you're here to do.
For whatever reason, I stayed in downtown way longer than I ever would have stayed down. And for some reason, I continuously passed these people. And then I said something. So everything that I said to them was exactly when and how it was supposed to be done. So that makes me think that everything happened as it was supposed to, you know? So if everyone gets out of their own damn way, then everything will happen exactly how it's supposed to happen. It's our own opinion that messes up our timelines. In my opinion, because we don't have the answers. There are no experts. I don't believe in the word expert.
No.
Doctors, lawyers, linguists,
professionals.
Everybody is just trying to figure out things that are in our world with the things that we've been exposed to and the things that we can get information to. Any opinion just about can be altered by more information if you are open-minded.
Well, I do know woman knows best. I'll say that. Well, a woman knows best. Listen, I went to a doctor, checked my forehead. Hold on. Maybe my wife has an ability. Check my forehead. And he says, oh, it's good. There's no skin cancer there, right? I go home. My wife says, no, that does not look right. And she set me up the dermatologist, finding out it was skin cancer. My wife knew what best. A doctor said no, but she knew, and it was diagnosed, and it was.
Yeah. I think women have to be more intuitive because we have to keep tiny little humans and our husbands alive.
Yeah. A woman knows. I'm not saying women have abilities to keep families alive, and they have that, because I'm not saying women take care of babies more than men, but they do. They have that inner thing about keeping everybody safe, and they just know things. They look at you like
natural instinct.
What's wrong?
Well, when you have been literally ripped apart, then yeah, shit breaks, and we get crazy and we get more. I mean, you can't possibly give birth and still be sane afterwards. Sorry, ladies, but none of us are right after that. I'm sorry. That's just, you either use your crazy for good or evil. That's just how it is. Oh, this is Andy.
Oh, 1 second.
We got the cute little alien.
Yeah.
Oh, he just got abducted right there. 1 second.
Everything keeps shutting down.
I have serious questions.
The pink bus is coming, Andy. Watch out.
Is that like an octo alien? Like, I've always wondered about what's in the bottom of the jar. Like, is that his arms and his junk and his legs and like everything squished up in the bottom of that jar? Or is he like
can you see it?
When it popped up, when you disappeared, I could see your little octo alien.
Oh, right. Yeah. So let me.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
What is
so that's AI.
Oh.
So that's the logo.
Well, that alien either has big shoulders and big boobs or little arms and legs or something.
I think it's just grown a head and the body's still growing.
Okay, I was just wondering because I'm like octo alien.
Yeah, but then I've got the actual alien in a jar, and I will show you if I can work out how to get us from circles to squares.
Just put it in front of your face.
It's pinned down. It's on like a sticky pad.
Oh. So you have a wandering alien in a jar and you had to stick him down. Do y'all have quakes there? Y'all don't have earthquakes, do you?
No. It's more so I don't knock it over.
On the West Coast, we have earthquakes.
Where?
I'm on the West Coast, and we grew up with earthquake drills and all that. We had the famous San Andreas Fault that goes underneath all the way from California to Washington.
Yeah, I stayed in San Diego. Well, I was in Vista during the big San Diego thing. I slept through the whole thing. It was just like rockabye baby, and then I woke up and all my crap was broke. But yeah, I'm back.
I remember when my wife first moved to the West Coast because she's from New York, and the first time she felt the earthquake, like, what the hell is this? I go, ain't nothing. It's only a 4.5. Just relax. It'll go away. California, you're used to it. You're born when the ground shakes. It's like, okay, no big deal. Until the big one hits, and like, oh shit, we're done.
Right, I'm just gonna mute my mic, and then I'm gonna show you on my phone the alien in the jar.
Okay.
So there's just gonna be too much feedback if I
keep the volume on. We got you. Let's see this alien in a jar.
Wouldn't it be fun if we find out that Andy did get hit by a pink bus or something?
That's horrible.
Wouldn't that be? I know it'd be horrible, but wouldn't that be like just like, wow, these two discovered it?
Okay, get over a little bit and see a lava lamp. Is that it? I can't see nothing.
It's really dark, that bottle.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Here we go. Looks like something off that TV show, The Last of Us.
That looks like a miscarriage is what that looks like. Jesus. Yeah. I'm good. Thank you. All right. We can take
Danny, what? He's like Elton John driving a pink bus. That would be the greatest in a sad way.
Do you see what Simon said? He said you probably got to pay to move the camera.
The thing, I've put the camera back on the tripod and it's behind the monitors, so I'd have to move everything to get it out. So it's just easier to do that.
Listen, I have to just jump off for a couple of minutes and I'll jump right back on. So even though you guys see me off, I'm going to try to jump back on. I got to run.
Don't you be phoning your pink bus driver to tell him to come to the UK.
Hey, well, I promise. I'll be right back.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. So that night when all that stuff happened, that was the same night that I got that alien in a jar.
Really?
Yeah. And from that moment, that's where everything changed.
Yeah, I knew you got weirder
everything.
At that point, but I wasn't really sure what moment made you odder. But now I know it was that moment.
Yeah, it was just went ridiculous. There we go.
You know, I had a premonition that Simon and I were going to work on a project together in the future. I'm not sure what it is, but something.
Trying to get Simon to appear. He's
You know, he hates being seen. I don't know why you do that to him. Just let him be a voice like the Wizard of Oz. Just let him be our Oz.
I can get him a mask.
Can it be a hamster or something, or vampire maybe? Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got a Dogman mask.
Look, it's like all gone downhill. No, because then you'll upset the dog.
I'm going downhill now. But I don't. How do I change to square boxes?
I only see square. I did what you told me in my thing over there, but it didn't work. General
orientation, avatar, camera.
Hamster.
No, audio, visual, no, recording, no, hotkeys, layouts, guests. No, it doesn't give me any option to change.
So you see ovals or something? Everybody's
So if you turn your phone landscape.
I keep doing it. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
There you go. You're in a circle.
I still see. I'm screenshotting this so you can see what I'm seeing. Okay. I'm canceling it and I'll send it to you later because you're. But I do. But God dang, I can cover my boobs up. They look.
So this is what we see.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't see that. I see y'all in like squares. So
well,
longer kind of squares.
I don't know what's going on, especially today. Today's just
well, your brain's in like business mode. You're trying to like save this good thing that you've made, and they're trying to, binge you up. So, but we will find a way.
Yeah. Why have StreamYard made it small, ridiculous talk about? Oh, made it small, ridiculous talk about putting 30 quid for a square.
My God, this cat is like, 4 million pounds.
Right. I do not know how to change back to a circle. I haven't got any options.
But you're already in a circle, right?
Yeah. But people are saying, can I put it back in a square? But I can't do it.
Gosh, Simon, or maybe you just show your face because.
Yes, Mr. Riley.
You can it's just going to be me and Andy. Don't worry, Simon. It's just me and Andy. That's it. Nobody else.
Told him.
That's it.
I think my chair's slipping because I started off near the top and I'm like nearly sat on the floor now. Oh, that's better.
Can she bow?
That's definitely circle of strife. Not joking.
Wouldn't that be cool? Wheel of Fortune, paranormal Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, yes.
That would be so fun.
Paracircle.
Vector for 5, please.
The paracircle. The encrypted paracircle. There we go.
There you go.
I have to write it down because I will forget.
You cannot put another podcast on your plat. Like
no, I'm going to change the name of this one to the encrypted paracircle.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That's usually how we talk anyway, is in like what is going on here with this weird round robin thing of weirdness.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever get the TV show Through the Keyhole?
I think I don't
so
know.
It's where you have a panel and then they're filming in some like famous person's house and you've got to guess who the famous person is.
No, I mean the show sounds, but I talk to all you guys all the time, so I don't know my own country from any other. And now I'm starting to pick up stuff. Like I told my friend there, I'm like, oh no, just put it in the boot, and she's like, what? You don't tell someone to put something in the boot in Texas. Like they're looking at shoes. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been on WhatsApp lately.
So what do you call it? The
trunk.
Trunk. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, it's over in the boot because
we have crap words like bonnet and boot.
I love that.
Yeah, but you have hood and trunk.
We have trunk and a hood, and sometimes the engine's in the trunk, and sometimes the engine, most times the engine's in the hood.
Yeah.
And then we have a cab in the middle. So, yeah.
Oh, right, here we go. Question from Danny Staten. Staten. I think.
Am I
forgot how to read.
Porch?
So you live in Texas. Do you know Texas Front Porch? He does it with BMR Rob, Bigfoot Michigan Rob.
Is that a radio
and then
station?
you've got the Blondes and the Booze with Krista and Brandy. There's a few different ones.
I'm going back to
Jessica Jones. They're all kind of all linked together.
No, I'm not familiar with it. Is it paranormal? What is it?
Yeah, bit of everything.
I pretty much just stick. If you didn't know that I do this stuff, you wouldn't know. You just think as this crazy hippie that's always building weird shit. Yeah, so I don't do it. Like nobody knows. Like I was somewhere the other day and I'm just eating. I'm not trying to do anything. And one of my followers, she was like, because we have a little town that like a lot of people travel in. It's like a to go to place. And I'm just sitting there and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to bother you. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's a medium. I watched her. How? And I was like, oh my God, oh, thank you. She's like, is there anyone with me? And I'm like, I'm just eating a baked potato. I don't know.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know. She says, I don't advertise. It's a weird. Oh, you are not a weirdo, Simon. If you're a weirdo, be a weirdo.
He's 6'4".
That's all right. That's perfect height for a man.
There you go. He's not 6'4". I said he was 6'4". He's like 5'10".
Andy's in an orb. Andy is his own orb.
Yeah. Arbitron. Yeah. Oh, right. We have got 5 minutes. I think Eric's had enough.
Yeah.
Or he's going to try and get a hit on me.
Yeah, he's calling all the pink school buses.
I know.
Now, who's this fire spirit? Because I see them a lot. Like they were on the show.
Actually met up with Fire Spirit. He's a really nice guy. Unfortunately, he's from Yorkshire. Sorry, only messing about.
He said Muggles. Aww.
And we went to Bempton and we met up with a guy called Paul Sinclair. Now he has a YouTube channel called Truth Proof, which goes out at 7:00 on a Thursday and Sunday. And he goes out all the time. There's just loads of mad stuff going on. It's right on the coast. You're on the cliffs. You can look over into the sea. It's near an old air base.
Do you have the info for Fire Spirit? Like, you met him, right? So you've got his contact.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shoot him my WhatsApp.
Okay.
It's something just like popped through my head when you were talking about, like.
He's very.
No, don't tell me anything. I'll figure out how weird he is.
Yeah.
Myself.
I wasn't going to say he's very weird, but
like,
just no, he's
a red suitcase for some reason. When we were talking about him, it was like a kind of an old-fashioned red suitcase, and I'm just wondering if that means anything to them.
I'll find out in a moment. If he can Wayne, if you can drop me a message privately, just text me or on WhatsApp. Oh, just send me a normal text message.
Oh, well, you can
the red suitcase.
It's real easy. It's not hard. You can just get it.
Yeah, I'll send you an invite to it, Wayne,
yeah.
and then go from there.
That's how you get to talk to all us Texans. If you don't have WhatsApp, we can't talk.
Everyone's taking the piss now because I have to go to the cinema to watch the lives from now on. Be cheaper to go cinema.
Yeah, like he should. Good job. I'm proud of you, Fire Spirit.
Yeah.
That's how it sounds in Texas. Fire Spirit. See, it sounds better in
everything. So when people come up like that, people change the names, like the YouTube name. So we just think it's new people in the chat. And then we find out, like 2-3 months down the line, it's a particular person that's just like upgraded the name.
Gotcha. Laura, I will check out is it Texas Front Porch or is it
Texas Front Porch? Yeah.
So like the person, like Tex?
Yeah, Tex.
It's Tex, like a possessional Texas, or like Texas the state? Wait, who has the
Tex as in the person.
Okay, so like
Tex apostrophe S Front Porch.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to be like, there's like 4,237,000 Tex in Texas.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny's put the link up.
The link in for the.
Oh, there we go. There you go.
What is
that? So if you watch it back,
I'm gonna say the fans of.
Andy
said to check it out. All right, I'll get that for sure. I don't know how, but Andy, can you get me that?
Yeah, I think I'm sub to it anyway. I can't copy and paste that because that's on Eric's.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I'm unable to copy and paste it.
You see my big old head on there with my ghost cup. That's what my picture is. Hey, a lady bought one of my ghost mugs. I kid you not, for $50 the other day.
What? Real?
$50.
Wow.
Guess what she has? She's now the official owner of my ghost mug.
Look what I bought. You ready?
What is it? What happened? What? Oh, I love it. Nightmare Before Christmas.
It was like £2.
Nice. They have a giant Sally. She's animatronic with a trick or treat thing, and I want to make it to go in my mailbox. So when like the mail lady comes, she like does this thing around my mailbox.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, JoJo. Thank
you. Right, I'm gonna message you now on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it on the computer, so I've sent you the link. Texas Front Porch. There you go.
Thank you.
Right. We are at the end of the show because we need to stick to the 90 minutes due to us going on.
That's all we had.
Because we are on here. So this is going out at 10 p.m. EST tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to send it over. So yeah, we're part of the Unex network. What's it called? Syndicate.
I guess.
So
remember, I need a paranormal. I can't even manage my own paranormal stuff.
Yeah, so we're part of this now. So 10 p.m. EST. Saturday night, this will go out on there. So
why are we talking about
fingers
body?
crossed. Sorry?
They're talking about body parts.
No, that's just Adam liver. I don't know what he's on about. I don't think Adam knows what he's on about half the time. So
that's okay.
It's all good. Right. So we have come up to the end of the show. Thank you. Thank you everyone that has joined Patreon, because that is just massive relief to how the channel is going to progress.
Yeah.
Because obviously I don't want to stop doing it like this, but I just cannot physically afford it.
No.
So,
and everyone understands that.
Yeah.
We just love you. Keep talking to you.
Right. So do you want the results of the poll before we go?
Yeah.
So move to TikTok and podcast only.
Wrong answer.
No, you ready for the percentages?
Okay.
0%. Nobody voted TikTok. Me and Nicole doing live but without a guest. 17%.
Like 1-7?
1-7. Pre-record guest, no viewer interaction, 22%.
Really?
And 50 to 80 in donations per month, 61%.
Oh, that means that everybody's got to actually participate in that.
Yes, and I've got photographic evidence of it now. Because I'll forget. So, yeah, more guests. So I was worrying because I'm doing the 24-hour podcast again on the 1st of November.
I want to get in this year. I didn't do it. Yeah, I want to do it.
Yes. That was what I wanted to talk to you about before we go. So with that being in November, I wouldn't have been able to do that without this. So a massive thank you to every single one of you that has helped support the channel from the very beginning. Because even if you're not supporting it now, without you guys, it wouldn't have got to where it is at this moment. So thank you. And hopefully I've got 2 months to reapply for monetization from YouTube, which I'm going to do, but I'm only going to do super chat and super stickers. I'm not doing the membership.
Right.
So massive thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to everyone listening on podcast. And yeah, it's not going on TikTok because I really don't like it. So you can see the results of the poll in the bottom of the comments now. It's just come up. So looks like we're going to be going with that. Yeah, so we're on podcast. This will get uploaded tonight. And that's it.
And so I am doing podcasts again. So if anybody needs me, reach out. I just take care of Mom. So I'm back now.
Am I okay if anyone contacts me to pass on your information, including phone number?
Absolutely. Well, phone number. Yeah, give them the WhatsApp.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. I've got your email as well, so I can send them on that. Yeah. So massive thank you to absolutely everyone, as well as you, Michelle, and Eric, wherever he's gone. So yeah, that's it. Back on Monday with Brian King Sharp, author and podcast of Sasquatch Odyssey. Wednesday, have a change of guest. We have Nathaniel Gillis coming back on.
I've been on his show, haven't I?
You've been on here with him.
Yeah, but I think I was on his show too. I think
he's from Ohio.
I think so.
Yeah, wears a hat.
I think so. If I haven't, I need to be. And if I have and I don't remember, I'm very
You need to go back on.
I need to go back on because I've been dormant for 2 months. And I missed the Dogman episode you did or something like that? You did one. I missed it like last month. What was that one? It was something furry, and I love tall creatures with lots of fur. And I missed that.
I don't know. Sorry. I can't remember what I did this morning. Oh, and then on Friday, we've got Paul Howard, who is the paranormal team of hosts for ghosts.
Oh, how cute is that?
Too many S's in that.
Aww.
And then, yeah.
Ghosts. You just turn them into Z's and stuff like me.
Yeah, so we've got loads coming up. We've got Paranormal. Oh, Lara's coming on, Paranormal Pixie. She's on the 18th of September.
Oh, cool.
Got Akeem and Brian Seng coming on the Friday the 20th. Akeem is a whistleblower and a survivor of MK Ultra.
I love whistleblowers.
Yes.
They've got the biggest.
Yeah, so we've got now I can start looking for guests for October. Because I didn't know where the channel was going to go, but now we can start moving forward again. So it's all good. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Eric, wherever you vanished. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, everyone downloading and listening on podcast. Thank you to everyone who has joined Patreon and donated. You can still join Patreon at any time. You just go on it and type Alien8 UK on the Patreon app, and you'll find me on there. So the more that join, the better the experience, and I can do more and more and keep it going like this. So have a great weekend, everyone. I will see you on Monday. So take care and goodbye. See y'all later. Ta-ra!
Goodbye.